You know, some people might say that A24 films don't have villains, per se. Usually because they're seen as being more, you know, thoughtful, contemplative, elevated. Indie drama / genre flicks. But, you know, those people would be wrong. Because in my opinion, everything in life is black and white. And approaching things with nuance sucks. Sometimes it's important to put all the blame in the world onto one person. Just like they did with that guy that one time. So here's my ranking for all the no good, bad motherfuckers in A24 movies to find out who's the nastiest of them all. And maybe along the way, these insightful films about human nature will help us to discover the true nature of evil. At least as it relates to the, you know, alt in-house tastes of your Hinge date's favorite movie company. But see, I think these baddies might have more in common than we think. And I also just want to preface this by saying this list is very serious and is also entirely objective. Starting with the white woman in Midsommar. Oh, what, you're gonna cancel me? Oh, go ahead, try and cancel me. Yeah, try and cancel me for speaking the truth. The truth is that men's feelings matter. Yeah, and while I'm at it, here are my thoughts on why the new Star Wars TV show is woke bullcrap. You hear about this? Nowadays, you can't even watch anything on TV. Like, the other day I turned on Disney. You hear about this Disney show, the new Star Wars TV show? I turn this on, what do I see? Mace Windu is trans? What the heck? No, really. What the heck? Nah, I'm just playing. I don't actually have any real resentment towards Danny in that movie. If there's anything there at all, it's mostly just that I have definitely fumbled a Florence Pugh type baddie before in my life, so it's more of a personal thing. But no, there is actually a real villain in this movie, and it's kind of hard to sort out at first because all the characters are so unlikable. It's not the boyfriend though, contrary to popular belief, and it's not some abstract bullshit like human nature or whatever. It's Pele, okay? It's the Swedish motherfucker. This is what an actual cheater looks like, okay? It's always the sensitive hippie stoner guy. Yeah, let's talk about your feelings. No, okay? This is the type of dude to, you know, invite you to his cottage and, like, get you to try some strange strain of weed you've never heard of. And then he'll, like, reveal, oh, I forgot it was, like, laced with LSD or some shit. And you'll be fucking tripping balls, but not in a good way. And then he's about to drop on you that, like, he grew up Jehovah's Witness or something. Like, this guy is the problem. And you might be saying, lArUe, you kind of looked like that in the last video. Yeah, but I don't anymore, okay? Because I got a hair... Oh, you noticed. Yeah. Haircut. Ha. Put him on the board, okay? That's an A for annoying tier villain right there. He's up there. And while we're on the topic of Ari Aster movies, let's just do them all. Who's the villain in Hereditary? Is it, you know, the demon, the mom, the grandmother, or something more subtle like intergenerational trauma? Maybe, but no. You know from earlier in the movie, the chocolate cake with the walnuts in it? Hold up. Just give me a second. This is not a bit, because this is very serious for me. This is something I related to most in that movie, and it's that, you know, when I am at a party, or anywhere really, and I go to take a bite out of a chocolatey snack, a brownie, for example, and I get a mouthful of walnuts. Yeah, I want someone to cut off my fucking head too. That shit sucks. And for that reason alone, I gotta put it up there. That's a B tier cake and a B tier villain. The demon though, Payman? Well, what was that guy's deal? Like he wanted all his followers to be naked? Gross. You know, that's gross. D for disgusting tier. And finally, let's just do Beau Is Afraid. The villain in that movie, of course. I don't want to give anything away for people who haven't seen it, but it's the big kind of like penis monster. How to describe it? Or it had a name too. What was the name of the penis? The weird penis guy. Oh, Ari Aster. Yeah, I see that name in a trailer, and boy, I'm frightened. No, I'm messing around. We're rooting for Ari, but we're rooting for his next movie. A for Aster. But you know, so far I don't know if we found a really common theme yet. Videos need like an overarching theme and structure to affect like a satisfying ending. I gotta... Okay. What about the rest of A24's elevated horror movies? Okay, how about Talk to Me? It's a recent A24 movie, came out last year. Big success and made by a couple of YouTubers, no less, which I love. I love a success story. I love when people kind of, you know, make it happen. And I think that was a fun movie. What I don't love was that movie's villain, which was the script, obviously. It doesn't really go anywhere, and it's kind of mean-spirited. I really feel like we have to go back to like horror movies where we punish like horny, godless, like drunk teenagers and not traumatized children. Like Evil Dead Rises does this too for some reason, where we're just like so mean to just like relatively innocent children that have had a really rough go of it. Why are we doing this? And why are movies doing this? Stop. Someone has to stop, please. D tier script. I wish they got possessed by cool guys from history that went to hell. You know what I mean? And we as the audience had to figure out like who she's been possessed by, you know? Like she starts going on long, weird like Twitter rants and starts golfing a lot and announces to everyone at the party like, I'm not black anymore.
Did not do it.
We'd be like, what the audience would be really thrown off. I mean, talk to me about a crazy horror movie. Listen, I have all kinds of ideas like this, like, because I got shit like that off the dome. As it stands, though, D tier. Not one of my favorites. The next scariest A24 movie, of course, is Ex Machina. Some people might hear that and think, what? That's not a scary movie. But I think it is scary, and it's scary specifically to someone like me because that movie asks the question, what if a white boy's riz was so bad that he fumbled a literal robot? And, you know, as someone that's fumbled his fair share of cold and robotic women, I can relate. So, C for Caleb tier, I guess. VVitch, of course, and the villain in that movie was Black Phillip. I don't know if he was really a villain to me, though. The goat had game. I mean, they didn't call him the goat for no reason. Satan in that movie had kind of a stacked roster of like pioneer type baddies. Just take a look at his powers list from the villains wiki, which I just found out was a real thing that someone is managing for some reason. I understand that though. Curating bullshit lists for no reason. I can relate. Okay? Possession, manipulation, charisma, eloquence, shape-shifting. Most guys I know only have 3 of those qualities. Like, this guy's fucking sick. If I had to put him on the board, it's S for Satan tier, of course. Satan never fumbles a baddie. Unlike the villain in our next film, Pearl. You know what though? Pearl I don't think is actually the villain in that movie. It's the mom. The mom is kind of a nasty character in this one. You think telling someone what to do their whole life won't turn them into a weirdo with a violence kink whose only friend is an alligator? It's like those shirts, you know, that say like, don't bully me, I'll come. But for Pearl, it should be something like,
don't make me kill you, I'll come.
And it's all thanks to good old-fashioned German repression. Justice for Pearl, okay? Bum to your mom. Put her on the board. Civil War is a scary movie. It forwards the frightening suggestion that the Canadian dollar would ever be more valuable than the USD, even in a time of war or crisis. Like don't get me wrong, I get the US has problems right now, but as someone that lives here in Toronto, let me tell you, this guy has clearly not been in Canada for a while. So I shot this before they shot Trump. It doesn't really hold up anymore, but I'll leave it in. In terms of killing our leaders, the US is well ahead at the moment. We are the ones that are on the brink of a civil war. We got fucking truckers in the street that are like fiending to behead Trudeau. You know what I mean? Like the Green Knight style, except not the good ending, like the bad ending where they just get him. The villain in that movie, by the way, is being a mommy's boy. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Cut the cord. A-tier villain. Great movie. What about one of my favorite A24 movies? This one is horror in the way that, like, Edgar Allan Poe is horror. The Lighthouse, of course, is what I'm talking about. Willem Dafoe, Robert Pattinson. Yeah, the villain in this movie is the fact that they didn't kiss. The villain in this movie is the fact that they didn't kiss. No. Probably not. I mean, if I really wanted to sound smart, I'd say something like, the villain in the Lighthouse is capitalism. No, the real villain in the Lighthouse is gooning, which I hope is the last time I say that dreadful word on this channel, but let's be realistic. Baby. No, but Robert Pattinson's character is fantasizing about mermaid Ussy. This letterbox poster suggests Mussy, but I would counter with Mermussy. It's cleaner. Gooning will have you trapped in the grind set, you know? Like, you'll be thinking about, like, what's at the top of the lighthouse? And you'll grind all the way to get up there. You'll kill fucking Willem Dafoe because you think, oh, maybe I might get a better nut up there. You're not. Okay? The only thing that's up there is yet another fumble. Okay? Gooning is S tier. It's diabolical, and you know what? I'm looking at the list. I didn't mean for this to become a Christian tier list with Satan and masturbation at the top, but maybe those Christians got something right. I don't know. Look at this though. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but to me, like, the pattern still isn't clear. I mean, we got toxic manipulators, gooning. I just don't know. It's almost like all the conflicts, they're so personal. They're so interior. It's like it's all in their head, kind of, and it's mental illness. That's the real villain in all these movies. It's like there's all these metaphors, you know, like Hereditary, the demon. That's a metaphor. That's mental illness, or like Pearl. It's like all this stuff. It's like your family makes you crazy, or like First Reformed. You know, like there, it's like capitalism and the environment makes you fucking mentally ill. Or like Paul Mescal's character in After Sun, you know, not the most neurotypical person you've ever met. A lot of like messed up childhood and like bad parenting stuff going on there. Same with like The Florida Project, also a strange childhood movie. A lot of probably mental illness in that one too. Also, The Whale is a movie. I don't know. I've not seen The Whale. Has anyone seen The Whale? Is it about mental illness? Maybe a better question would be, has anyone willingly sat down to watch The Whale? I think that's one of the great questions of our time.
I need to know that I have done one thing right with my life.
The Iron Claw, also about mental illness, as well as, you know, living under the oppressiveness of a big German persona. I had to Google that the dad wasn't actually German, but I mean, they're called the Von Erichs. The vibe is very German in that movie. So another one I relate to. You know, I don't have any bits for this movie. It's just really sad and good. Truly a certified Dudes Rock classic. Highly recommend The Iron Claw. But of course, what about the big A24 movie? You know, the one that everyone thinks about when they think A24. Tusk. No, okay. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Huge mental illness movie. I mean, the everything bagel in that movie, obviously a clear metaphor. You know, it sucks all the joy out of life. It's hopelessness. It's desperation. It's nihilism. It's depression. It's the profound boredom I have while I'm watching that movie. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I'm a verified hater. I wish I saw the movie you guys saw. I just thought it stunk. I really am sorry. I don't know. Maybe mental illness is too broad of a villain category. Maybe this whole list was stupid and reductive. Or maybe trying to build a list of art house label movies just so you can signal your superiority of taste and judgment isn't enough to mask your deeper insecurities, you know? The feeling that deep down, you don't really know what's going on. You're never really on top of things. You're always out of the loop. You're kind of a fuck up. You push people away. You're a loser. Wait a minute. Villains are losers. Villains are fuck ups. Villains fumble all the time. Villains are unemployed. That's it. villains are film bros. Caleb, Thomas, Pearl, Jobu Tapaki. I mean, these are all film bros and broettes we've seen on Letterboxd hundreds of times. Lady Bird, I mean that's just younger Greta Gerwig, and clearly she used to be an annoying film bro. What about the husband in Past Lives? You can't tell me that guy doesn't have a Letterboxd account. He's up there writing pithy one-liner reviews just like me. You know what? Maybe this whole time I was the real A24 bad guy. Maybe that's okay. No, the worst bad guy was the Nazis. The Nazis are pretty bad. I'd give them SS tier. Okay, that's enough video for today. Thank you for watching.